Hey guys, here's another quick look at the Revell Snap Tight Build and Play Lights and Sounds Star Wars kits. I hate, that's a lot of shit to say. Whatever. This is the Kylo Ren TIE silencer. I want to say, could be wrong. I believe it's a TIE silencer, but it is Kylo Ren's unique TIE fighter from The Last Jedi. And this is the AT-M6, which was also featured in The Last Jedi. Terrible movie, great vehicles, as always. And some cool designs, you know, the design team is on point. Movie sucked, but different story for a different time. So, we'll take a quick look at these. I'll put this guy to the side. We'll look at Kylo's fighter, which is very, very reminiscent of the TIE Interceptors. It's got the same sweep design with the 4 prongs, the laser cannons, and I mean, I have to say, at first, it's also got these cannons here, I believe. Yeah, these are. There's a cannon right there, right in the middle, as well as the 2 on the ends. So this thing's bristling with guns for a TIE fighter. It also has almost a TIE Advanced kind of look, you know. And we know he was a fan of Darth Vader. He's a young fanboy of Darth Vader. So it would make sense that his ship would be as close to that as possible, you know. Very cool design, I have to say. I liked it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, it's a pretty cool progression of this design. You know, and you know the Imperial / First Order, they do those ties, you know. There's a little tiny Kylo Ren in there as well. Canopy opens up. You can't see him in there. I'm gonna get a flashlight so you guys can see that stuff, but there is a Kylo Ren in there. The activation button for the lights and sounds is right here. I believe it does the engines and then the noises. I really like that octagonal cockpit design. You know, that canopy is pretty cool. It's like it actually sticks out so the pilot gets more view of his surroundings, whereas the TIE fighters just had the port right in front, so it didn't grant them, and they were sitting pretty far back, so it didn't grant them a lot of view. And I believe, like, in the non-canon extended universe stuff, like, once they shot the lasers on the TIE fighters, the canopy would black out, because it used so much energy to shoot those lasers. Pilots were like flying blind for seconds, which, as you saw, is crucial. Here's the sounds and lights. Classic TIE fighter sound. Classic. So there's 3 sounds. Big speaker port there on the bottom. You can see there. That's like the biggest one out of all of the ones I've seen. All in all, again, really cool kit to put together. Very simple. You know, you got the wings, you got the little panels on the wings, fuselage. Very simple. Took like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, not even that. Price was about $20 at Target. You know, most of these are all the same price. You know, it's like 20 bucks or 19 and some change. You know, I like it. Like I said, it's a cool design, very low profile. Like, it doesn't stand out as much as like the TIE fighters do with the big panels. The panels are really small and they're curved here or slanted, so it makes it even smaller. You know, kind of like they took Vader's TIE Advanced and what worked with the Interceptors, and we're like, well, hey, let's just beef that up and make it better, and boom. You know, and it's unfortunate that the movie didn't do it justice. Like, he was really good as a pilot, it seemed. A lot of people don't like Kylo Ren, which I find hilarious. Here's my little rant on Kylo Ren. I liked him when I first saw him. I liked the lightsaber design. It made sense. It's been proven. It works. I watched Ray Parks do a demonstration with it at the Star Wars convention, and that thing works. You can make it work, you know. And speaking of the Star Wars convention, outside of the 501st and Stormtroopers and things like that, and the classics like Leia, you know, the X-Wing pilots, the Rebels, there was a lot of those, you know, rank and file characters. Kylo Ren was the most cosplayed Jedi, Sith Lord, whatever you want to call it. There were babies in Kylo Ren costumes. There were children in Kylo Ren's costumes. There were men and women in Kylo Ren costumes. I wasn't surprised, but at the same time, I was like, with all the fan hate from this guy in the first movie, which I did not. I actually thought in Force Awakens he was pretty badass. A lot of people say he's a whiny complainer, but so was Luke, so was Anakin. You know, just following the trend. But the dude was powerful enough to stop a laser bolt in the air. Like, he put the pause button on a laser beam and still interrogated Poe. Like, he was still able to use other force abilities while pausing that laser beam, by the way. If that's not powerful, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, that's his TIE fighter, which is cool. He has his own personal ship. I thought that's kind of cool too. Again, I didn't like the movie at all. Didn't like Last Jedi. Terrible movie, but cool designs. Here we have the AT-M6. Now these were again in The Last Jedi at the very end, where Luke makes an appearance, and there's like, I don't know, 100 of these guys, whatever it was. I was just like, it's a ridiculous number. They were like, we gotta go bigger than the AT battle on Hoth and any other AT appearance. They had to go bigger, so there was like 1,000 or 100 of these or whatever F it was, and they have these huge cannons right here. This one doesn't do it justice. It's got a little red tip for safety. You know, you want people to know it's not a real gun. There's some of the details. Kind of looks like a camel, and I know these are like energy things for this cannon, and it's got, you know, got some head guns right there, and they're actually, now that I look at them, they're actually different. Those cannons are actually different. I don't know if you can see that, but that's kind of cool. It's got a really interesting facial design. Anybody who knows Warhammer 40K would tell you it's kind of Warlord Titan-y, you know, Emperor class Titan. Looks like a Titan's face from Warhammer 40K. You know, I'm not saying that's what they did. I'm just saying it has a look of it. It does move. The head moves a little bit. You know, you can turn it. You can kind of see where the thing's looking at, or where it's pointing its cockpit. The legs do move. You know, a little flexy. He can do dance moves or whatever. He's got these gorilla mitts up front, which I found hilarious in the movie. Oops, sorry about that. That's one of his sounds. So, two sounds, and they are a little different from the AT-ACT, so that's kind of cool. I wish Revell would make a AT-AT of this style, but he's got these big paws up front here. I know what they're for. I just think it's kind of funny looking, you know, like a gorilla. So supposedly these are to brace the walker when it gets ready to shoot this cannon. Supposedly this cannon is extremely powerful, and it needs bracing when it's ready to shoot. And it has, like I said, it's got a bunch of other two little nose guns here, and then these two side cannons, you know. And it's got some detail here to show that this cannon here can elevate and lower, you know. it kind of, it's a little silly, you know, when you first kind of, you're like, what the hell? It's like a big gorilla, camel gorilla. But it's not so bad that it ruins the like the aesthetic of Star Wars, right? Like when you look at some of the other stuff that's in that movie, you know, Poe's X-Wing, for example, I didn't get that kit from this series. I just didn't like it, and I didn't like the fact that it was the same thing, except let's slap a big ass turbo booster on the back, and that's a new kit. And even in the movie, it was just like, we got to get to those bad guys, but faster. I mean, I get the premise, right? You get to them so fast they don't know what to do, but you're just an X-Wing, and everything else behind you doesn't have turbo boosters, bro. So clearly you see the movie, you see what happened. But I didn't like that design. I have the original Poe X-Wing, which I thought was great, a great new design for the X-Wing, like progressively. And I thought they were really, the Resistance X-Wing, I got that too, because again, they're just really cool progressive designs. But then they went a step further and just threw a big ass booster on the back, as if to say that's what guys do. Like, we, you know, slap some rockets on it, man, make it faster, you know, and that's all we do, you know. But whatever, the movie has a lot more problems than that. It's also, I want to point out, the detailing on here is different than the detailing on here. It's got different panels. So it's not like a mirrored panel. It's actually different. I think that's kind of cool for this guy. But yeah, you know, again, same price, you know, as the other kits. Same quality build. This one was a little trickier to build, a couple more parts than this. But the ATs, they are a little tricky because you get these joints in the legs, you know, that you have to plug and play. Make sure you got them going the right way or whatever. But I got these at Target, same price, about 20 bucks each. I feel they were worth it. Again, they're toy quality, so you know, you can, you know, if it take a little damage, and I mean, hopefully not too much, but you know, it's a little bit more susceptible to abuse than a model kit itself, than a regular, you know, model kit. But they're not built for the same purpose, right? These are built to be played with. Model kits are built to display. These can be displayed if you paint them up, you know, and just set them aside as a display piece, and a little bit more customizing work, whatever, to finalize the details. But for what they are, these are actually pretty cool kits. You know, I think they're worth it. You know, again, I didn't care for the movie, but I do like what designs came out of that. So that's pretty much what I think. You know, again, goes back to, if you're interested in these, get them. If you're not, don't. I'm missing the A-Wing from this series. I should have got it. I really wanted to. I still do. It's only available on Amazon, and it's like $35. I'm kind of like, nah, that's what I paid for the Star Destroyer. I'm not about to throw down $35 for a fighter. Although it'd be cool to have. Just don't see the justification in it. But there you go. These are my thoughts on the Revell Snap Tight Build and Play Lights and Sounds Star Wars The Last Jedi Kylo Ren's Starfighter or TIE Fighter and the AT-M6. Alright, thanks for watching.